Velkommen alle sammen. I saw a video a couple of you sent me of Wim Hof speaking about the breath and how it's related to the soul. So he's one of my heroes. I've been doing his breathing techniques for a long time, and he was basically speaking in this little short clip about how we breathe. The very first thing we do when we are born, when we enter life, is take a breath in. And when we die, we take a breath out, and that's it. Life's over. So we can go a lot deeper than this. In the Norse beliefs, the word for breath is actually and it means spirit. Same thing as modern Norwegian. We say ond. I think Swedish and Danish are the same, and it's also related to the Old Norse verb anda, which means to breathe. It's also related to the old Latin word spiritus, meaning breathe or breeze or spirit, and also the Latin word spirare, to blow or breathe. And this is like ancient times, they think predating Christianity, so this goes back to a time when the Romans were even pagan, that long ago. So it is probably, if we go back far enough, an Indo-European root word that means the same for all of us when we were all one people going back many thousands of years. But we're speaking about the Norse beliefs here. So in Old Norse poetry, there is something called kennings, and these are basically just poetical metaphors. And the kennings for the chest or the breast, you can see a bunch of them right here. They all have to do with like breath and even the spirit, like the chest referred to as the thought's enclosure, the mind's land, the stronghold of the mind's ship. Look at all these things, just referring to the air and the breath that is in our chests. It's so closely related to our body and spirit, just this air that's in here. Yeah, I know you're not supposed to breathe into the chest, you're supposed to breathe into the stomach when you're doing it properly, but your lungs aren't in the stomach, okay? You're just opening your stomach to make room for the lungs. The lungs are up here in the chest. We also have another kenning that is listed by Snorri in the Prose Edda, listing the mind as the breath of a troll woman. So that would be something like the sorceress's or the witch's wind or the witch's breath. And we actually find a lot of stories about this in the folk tradition, powerful sorceresses who use their breath to control the wind. One story tells about a Sami woman who are our neighbors with a different culture and religion just a bit further north in Scandinavia. Tells about her how she went up to a mountaintop with her distaff. She did the traditional Sami yoik, and she basically created winds and made it so her husband got home safe from sea. We actually have another Sami legend, a goddess called Madaraka, who was said to use a rope with 3 knots tied in it to basically give life to all newborn children. And in a different myth, it's this same goddess, Madaraka, who breathes life into children when they are still the embryo before they're born to give them life. And this is all very similar actually to the Norse myth about Odin and his brothers when they're walking on the beach and they come across a piece of ash and elm tree, Asker and Embla, and they were supposed to be the first humans who inhabited Earth. And Odin and his 2 brothers, remember 3 of them, just like there were 3 knots tied in Madaraka's rope, one of the brothers blew in basically the color and the shape of the people, and one person blew in the intelligence to Asker and Embla, and Odin was the one who gave these trees, basically these driftwood, life. He breathed life and he breathed the spirit into them. And all this, ond, Oder and Odin, they're all related. It has the same kind of root word if we go back far enough. So there you have it. In the Norse beliefs, and maybe even all Indo-European beliefs, if we go back far enough, the breath is the spirit. That is what gives us our spirit, and when it leaves our body, that's when we die, and when we take it in, that's when we live. But those are just the Norse beliefs. You don't have to believe that if you don't want to. We do. You have to experience these things yourself though, and basically form your own beliefs based on your experiences that you have, and that's all there is to it. However, I will give you one tip though. When I'm feeling run down, I especially like to come to windy places like this, a place with a lot of wind, a place with a lot of breathe, and that's where I do my deep breathing exercises. You can do this 2 ways. If you're trying to bring more life into yourself, if you're trying to bring that spirit back into you, you do deep breathing. as deep breaths as you can, similar to the Wim Hof method. So I come here at times when I'm feeling a bit run down just to breathe some more spirit into me. You can do the opposite of this too, because we don't always want the spirit into you. Sometimes we want the spirit to leave us in things like astral travel, for example, or just dreaming and just having strong dreams and getting a good rest. At those times, you want to breathe everything out. And you're breathing out all of the air out of your body, and that is effectively your spirit leaving the body if you want to do that. Especially at nighttime, you don't go to sleep taking a big breath of air and breathe like this the whole night. No, you let it out, all the air out of your body, and take minimal breaths, and that's how you are going to get the best sleep through the night, because you're sending out your spirits into the spirit world to have fun, relax, explore, do whatever, give your spirit a rest too. So there are purposes for both of these things, but I don't really want to go into any more of that out in the open. That is subjects that are a bit too far out there for YouTube, but I do speak about these things on Patreon. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the history at least. Do you have any similar beliefs where your ancestors come from? Any beliefs that relate the spirit and the breath to each other? What is it like? Do they have any rituals that you know of? Let us know. That's why I make these videos, so we can all share and learn from each other's cultures and people, and really bring back the lost beliefs of our ancestors. So that's all I have to say for today. Vi ses nästa gång.